Yo, what is going on, guys? TymeStopper here, coming back at you another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, in this video, I'm going to break down my thoughts on the What's Next in Raid video that just came out, talking about all the new features and everything else. We knew something was coming. It was teased in Ash's interview with Cirilla the other day, but man, there is so much to go over in this video, so let's jump into it. Okay, guys, so as we go along through here, I'm going to be stopping along the way a few places just to take a look at some stuff and talk about what I think it is, where we're headed with it, and things like that. So let's go ahead and start the video up here.
Just like we promised, our What's Next in Raid series is back on track. It's been a long wait, but don't worry, we're sure you're going to love what's in store. Let's start with the big stuff. Introducing Awakening. We've been working on this for a while, and we're finally ready to share an overview with you.
Okay, so here we can see already in the Bastion, we've got the Altar of Souls. That's where we're going to be doing all the Awakening at, it looks like.
Awakening is a huge feature, and there's a ton to explore and experiment with. Think of it like we took the best parts of Masteries and Ascension, then mashed them together for some tasty raid goodness. We'll tell you how it works in a minute, but first let me tell you why you should care. Awakening your champions lets them align to a divinity of your choosing to get blessings that will help them in battle. These blessings are like super-powered passive skills that boost stats and give your champion.
Okay, so you're going to be able to pick from a blessing. You can see here, it kind of works like you've got this over here, where you've got your regular skills, your aura, and then your blessing, and you'll pick the blessings. And the blessings are going to be based on the level. So you can see that these are outlined in blue. Only rare champions will have that. Epic champions will be able to get up to the epic level, and then of course legendary champions will have up to the gold level of the blessings. And you can kind of get some idea of what some of the stuff is over here as we can see it when you get to the different awakening levels. So on level 1 of awakening, it says that it's going to fill this champion's turn meter by 2%. At level 2, you have HP plus 1500, 3500 to legendary champions, fills this champion's turn meter by 4%. So I guess you just kind of get the highest one. I don't think they would stack, right? Because this says fills the turn meter by 7%. So is it going to be 7, 4, and 2, or is it only going to be 7%? I guess we'll have to wait to figure that one out.
Champions some crazy benefits and effects. We're talking calling in a Reaper to finish off your enemies, stacking lightning orbs that protect your buffs and strike your targets down, a floating ring of bones that spawns from the corpses of allies and summons a mace-wielding undead skeleton to charge at the bad guys, a giant flaming boulder that smites your enemies from the heavens, and the terrifying, tortuous, merciless standard field sheep. And breathe. As you can see,
and from here, we can see that whenever someone is hit with one of these, it's got a new icon up there. It says it's protected, right? It's got the yellow box around it. So it's some kind of protection. Does that mean that they can't take them out of that? Or what exactly does that mean for us?
We've got a lot of new, unique mechanics here. But there's also a ton of blessings to play into the mechanics you're already familiar with. We can't wait to see all the awesome
Here we've got another one. There's some kind of fire going on this guy right here, because you got your regular HP burn and then you have this fire. So we're not sure what that is.
Combos you come up with to put these blessings to good use. We'll cover them in more detail in a future video, but now you know.
And here he's talking about how they're going to cover them in more detail in a future video. So I guess the biggest concern I have is how far away are we from this being in game, right? We know that they've got all kinds of stuff going on, and I'm not going to fault them for that. But as I watched through this the first time, I didn't really hear any mention of when it was going to happen. And generally, when they start talking about stuff being in a future video, that could easily mean 2-3 months away. So, you know, while this is pretty hype and all the stuff they're going to go through and it looks all brand new, who knows how far away it actually is at this point.
Why you want to awaken your champions. Let's talk about how, starting from the top at the Iron Twins Fortress. Before you awaken your champions, you'll have to head here to get the items you'll need. This is a brand new dungeon.
Okay, and then we do have the new dungeon here, right? So finally the unveiling of the tower that did have the purple top on it, then it went red, and there was some speculation as to why it went red. Now we know it's because of the Awakening, which is basically like a red star on top of your existing Ascension stars, which kind of makes sense. That would be the next color up.
And it works a little differently. It's divided up into affinities. Every day the affinity will change.
And then from here, we can see the different drops that you're going to get from here. He's going to cover it in a little bit, but we can see that you're going to need keys and energy every day to do this. Now, it looks like you do have a limit. I see 6 keys up there right now, so maybe we get 6 keys for the day. And once we've done our 6 keys, we're done. And then the things that it's going to drop is the soul coin and then the essence itself.
Meaning the affinity of the boss inside it will change. There'll be 15 stages when the...
And as we can see here, it goes up, just kind of like better drops as you go, like any other dungeon would have, right? So you've got the coins and then the basic essence, and then you've got the better essence down here, right? So we've got this has more and more soul coin dropping, more and more soul essence, and then immortal, and then eternal soul essence. So just like any other dungeon, the higher level you get to, the better the drops are going to be.
And unique to each affinity. This means if you reach stage 15 on magic affinity, you'll still have to work your way up to that stage on force, spirit, and void. There will be a regular schedule for which affinity is open on which day, so you can plan ahead. It's similar to the affinity keeps, but in this case, it's all in one dungeon. In addition, raiding the fortress will require both energy and a fortress key, and you'll get a limited number of keys every day, so make sure you use them. Okay, new dungeon, obviously a new boss.
Okay, let's go back there real quick, because we can see some of the stuff the boss had, right? Iron Twin, stage 15. We can see some of the skills from here. Even though he's not going to cover them in the video, we can kind of see the skills. So this looks like his A1 attacks one enemy, places a 30% decreased crit rate debuff for 4 turns, 25% weaken for 4 turns on targets under decreased crit rate. AoE, except the initial target. Wait, attacks all enemies except the initial target. Plays a 50% decrease attack debuff on all enemies except the target for 4 turns. Plays a 60% decrease defense on all enemies. So this is a ton of debuffs that you're getting smacked with, right? Damage based on attack. And then we've got the Fires of Insanity.
Obviously a new boss.
Okay, there we go. So we can get this whole thing. Attacks all enemies. Places an Iron Mark debuff on all enemies. So a new debuff. The higher the enemy's defense, the longer the duration of the Iron Mark. So sounds like you're going to want to bring HP in there. The Iron Mark debuff with a 10-turn... The Iron Mark debuff with a 10-turn cooldown will be placed on a champion with the highest defense. The debuff with a 6-turn cooldown will be placed on the champion with the next lowest defense. The Iron Mark debuffs cannot be blocked or removed. The boss cannot use this skill if his HP drops below 40% of his max HP. The boss's defense is increased by 2.5%. The boss receives 1% of his defense for each champion whose affinity is not the same as the boss has. So there's kind of why you would want to make sure that you're the right affinity when you go in each day.
Boss, meet the Iron Twins.
And then we couldn't see the
A3 on there. There are no pre-boss waves to take on, but these mechanical guardians will be tough to beat. So you'll need to think long and hard about your team composition and each individual champion's stat builds before you even set foot in battle. First.
And we can see his passives. Then he's got, looks like an A1, 2, 3, and 4, basically.
The Twins attack and...
Oh, nope. So that's some other kind of skill. So that's his A1 there, right? And then we have A2, A3. So I'm not sure what this is here.
Defense stats gradually increase throughout the battle as they use their skills. And their stats grow faster for every champion on your...
And then we can see these marks right here. 6, 10, 7, etc.
Your team that doesn't match the boss's affinity. That's why the dungeon works like it does, and why affinities really matter here.
This dude looks pretty cool, though.
Your champion's own stats affect how quickly a special debuff stacks on them, and this is a big danger. Get too many stacks, and you almost certainly won't survive the Iron Twins' attacks. And for today, that's all we're telling you.
So not really telling us anything hardly about this boss either.
Now, if you do manage to take these guys down, you go home with some valuable new items. Soul coins and soul essence. These things are why you came here in the first place, and once you've got some, you'll be heading straight to your bastion, to an all-new building, the Altar of Souls. This is where you'll be awakening your champion.
So the Altar of Souls is where we do the awakening of champions. We can see we got different coins up here going on. We've got the summons, the awaken, the market. So they're going to kind of run through this here, but I'm going to warn you, it's pretty confusing.
Using, you guessed it, their souls. To awaken any champion, you'll need their specific soul or parts of their soul split up into pieces. But it has to be theirs. You can't just use Death Knight Soul to awaken Turtle, for example. In fact, you can't awaken common or uncommon champions at all. Sorry, DK, maybe someday, if you can realize your potential. So, like champions and like Ascension, souls have different numbers of stars. This is their awakening level. Each champion can be awakened through 6 levels of awakening, and
okay, so let's stop there real quick. Let's take a look at what we're looking at. So here's the 6 levels, right? And we've got the rare, epic, and legendary up there. You will receive 86 souls chosen. We don't know what's selected, so it's kind of hard to tell from there.
be awakened through 6 levels of awakening.
Looks like he's got 129 of 170 on his soul collection. So almost like champion slots, I'm assuming.
And the only limitation is that they can't be awakened more times than they've been ascended.
Okay, so they can't be awakened more times than they be ascended. Must be ascended. Cannot be awakened at a higher level than the current level of ascension. Okay, that makes sense, right?
There are 2 types you can use, perfect souls and split souls. Perfect souls will awaken a champion to exactly the awakening level it says on the box. No more, no less. No hoops to jump through. Split souls, on the other hand, only have 1 star filled in bright red, easy-to-see colors. It can only be used to awaken a champion to that specific level. So, to awaken a champion to level 4 awakening with a 4-star split soul, they need to already be at level 3 awakening. So, you want souls? You've got soul coins. What do? Let's start with the perfect souls. Take your pocket full of soul coins and head to the Mystic Market.
Okay, so here's the market where we're going to buy the stuff from.
This is where you'll spend your hard-earned soul coins to get soul stones. Grab what you want, then head straight to the Soul Stone Summon tab. Here, you'll use those soul stones to summon, well, souls. You might notice this interface looks familiar, and you might also notice that there are 3 types of soul stones: mortal, immortal, and eternal. Summoning souls via soul stones will always give you perfect souls. The better the soul stone, the better your chances of getting higher level souls for higher rarity champions. It's similar to summoning champions. You even have a soul collection that works just like your champion collection. But there is one big difference: the wish list. There are a lot of champions in Raid, and finding the right type of...
My question is, if they can put a wish list in here, why can't we get a wish list for just regular summoning champions?
soul for the right champion sounds pretty daunting, so you'll be able to add some champs to your wish list. This will increase your chances of finding their perfect souls from soul stones. All right, that's perfect souls, but what about split souls? To get split souls, you'll need to exchange your soul essence at the soul merchant. The soul merchant will let you get the exact souls you need for your champions at exactly the right level of awakening, but you'll need to check in regularly to see what's in stock. You don't want to miss out on the exact soul you've been looking for. I can feel.
So I wonder
what you're
how
thinking.
often the market's
What if
going to
I get a
rotate.
soul for a champion I don't have? You can always keep them for later, but if you don't want to do that, just head to your soul collection and sell your soul. That sounds scary, but hear me out. They're not your souls anyway. They're your champions, so why should you care? Selling souls gets you more soul coins, which you'll then use for more soul stones or soul essence, and then more souls. You'll almost always have extra souls, so this is a nice, easy circle that helps make sure you're always moving forward on
Easy
your hunt
circle,
for
he
souls.
says.
All right, so once you've got your souls, you'll want to awaken your champions. Head to the Awaken tab, select your champion, choose your souls, and boom, awakened. Now it's time for the big payoff: blessings. Once awakened, every champion can choose to align to one of several divinities: light, dark, war, and chaos for now. Each divinity
For now. So he's got these 4, but you can see there's stuff that's locked. Well, you can't see it behind my head, but locked there already. And then you just pick the blessing. So I guess the question is, so once they're unlocked to something, does that mean I can pick that and just change between those? Or does it mean that once I pick a blessing, I'm locked to that blessing? I would hope that I'm locked to any of the blessings inside of that. I don't know.
has their own blessings. Blessings are limited by a champion's rarity, so rare champions can only receive rare blessings. Epics can have either rare or epic blessings, and legendary champions can choose any blessing they want. Each champion can only choose a single blessing, so picking the right blessing for your usage is key. There are 6 levels of blessings, but we made it easy. You don't have to up.
Okay, so here we can see Roxham, right? He's on the legendary lightning cage, and this is showing us what that's going to give. So 500 attack, that's a lot of attack. 25 crit damage. So I guess the question is, how quick is it going to be to get one of these? I mean, it seems like a lot of RNG to get not only the soul that you need, but all the materials and everything else. So hopefully it'll be a little while.
Upgrade them individually. They're all simply tied to your champion's level of awakening. Awaken a champion 6 times, and they'll have access to the level 6 benefits of any blessing they choose. And that's Awakening in a nutshell. Told you, it's big. But that's not everything. We're also bringing out a new type of event for special occasions.
Wait, let's go back there. Did that show like he could change it, or is it locked in, locked in?
Everything.
It doesn't really show, right? It just shows what this is.
We're also bringing out a new type of event for special...
Okay, so Awakening. It looks like a really cool system. It looks like it's very complicated at first. I'm sure we'll figure it out. I guess just like anything, your goal should be not to go out and spend your materials right away until we kind of figure out the nuances of it, how it works, what's going to work best, and things like that once they actually put it in the game, because we don't want to be overusing stuff or be blowing it on the wrong champions and things like that right away.
Occasions, Deck of Fate events. You'll earn fate points from a bunch of in-game activities, like raiding dungeons, leveling up champions, opening shards, the usual stuff. You'll then use those fate points to flip cards. Whatever you flip over, you get to keep as a reward. But there's another layer. There are 3 rarities of cards, and if fate is on your side...
This just looks like they took the events that we hated from the summer events and rolled them into this, because you can see you've got the coins here that we were using, and you're just flipping cards to hopefully get good rewards and things like that. None of them seem like they're great rewards. I mean, it's just another spin on them. So if they don't take away the existing rewards, this is kind of cool on top. But like we saw with the Path of Light and things like that, that was the event, right? So there wasn't like there was a summon, or there wasn't like there was a dungeon diver on top of getting points for that at the same time. It replaced that. So if this is just replacing it, it's just another way to get the same rewards as we've always gotten. So I don't know what this actually will bring at this point.
And you flip 3 cards of the same rarity one after another, you'll get a bonus reward. A Fate chest containing a bunch of awesome items. These Deck of Fate events will be used to get more from your everyday rating, which is something we think everyone can get behind. Keep an eye out for the first event later this year. Those are the 2 big features we wanted to talk about today, but here's a...
And I mean, getting a legendary book is kind of cool if you flip 3 cards of the same rarity, but how many cards are you going to be able to flip?
A bit of eye candy before we finish.
And we can see here 17 common, 13 rare, 10 epic cards, and you can kind of take a look at what some of those rewards are. So if these are just replacing the normal stuff that I would do in, say, like a Dungeon Divers and a champ training or something like that at the same time, I don't see the point in this.
First, champion skins. We've got more in the pipeline, and we think you barbarian fans out there are going to
Syl
love
the Drake's
them.
little fire skin, kind of like the Trunda, right? Fire and ice.
Queen, Syl of the Drakes.
Which is kind of cool because everybody has Syl, right? Because you get her automatically. So it depends on how easy they make it to get this skin. I mean, hopefully they make it pretty easy.
And as always, we've got more champions coming. I'll let the images do the talking here. Most of these are in their final stages of development, so you'll be seeing them popping out of shards.
Doesn't that guy already look like Jinro the Stork?
Sooner rather than later. Let us know what kind of champions you'd like to see added in the future in the comments.
That dude is huge. Look at him. He's a big boy.
We've been listening to your feedback, and we will do justice to some community favorites very soon. That's everything. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to catch more raid videos as soon as they come out. Until next time, good luck and happy raiding.
Okay, so what do we got? We've got the Awakening, right? So that looks like it's going to be a ton of work. Hopefully they don't have a pay-to-win mechanic on it. It doesn't look like they will because you're going to need keys every day. And so far, the only spot in the game that you've needed keys that you can buy is the Demon Lord. Hydra keys are limited. Faction War keys are limited. Doom Tower keys are limited. As a matter of fact, there was a pack that was in the shop for Doom Tower keys for all of like an hour once, and the community lost their mind and they took it out because they had said that they won't ever sell Doom Tower power keys, basically, right? So as long as they don't do that, I don't see any kind of like pay to win mechanic for it, other than the fact that you obviously have to have the champions. Now, if you don't have the champion and you get the soul for it, it is kind of cool that you'll be able to trade that in, right? So that's actually a really positive aspect of this. If you have a chance, you know, if you're getting souls and you want to just trade them back in, or maybe just hang on to it for later down the road, you can do that as well. But it gives you some kind of flexibility in how you're going to play that aspect of it. Again, they don't really say anywhere in here when any of this new stuff is going to come out. He even says that in a future video, they're going to talk more about the Awakening part of it. So my guess would be it's probably at least 2 months out. I hope I'm wrong, but I mean, I can't imagine that we're going to get any sooner than that. At this point, it's enough hype to kind of keep the community going, and they can kind of do small patches in the meantime, because that's generally what these videos are designed for. They're designed to kind of keep you interested in it and things like that. But overall, the Awakening part looks kind of cool. Looks like we're going to add some new mechanics to the game, which obviously is going to change up how things work. You know, it's going to change the meta in almost anywhere because of all the different things that can happen because of those blessings and how they're going to interact from one champion to the next. And there's so many different, I mean, there's 6 different blessings for each champion. So, and you may never know who you're going up against or what they have, right? Right now, if you go up against a team in the arena, you automatically know what that team has. You know how to counter it. With this, there could be a lot more strategy to it, but who knows? I mean, it might make it seem like it's a lot more RNG to some people, because now you don't even know how to fight that team ahead of time. So I don't know. I guess I can kind of see it other way. Let me know in the comments down below, how do you guys feel about that portion of it with the Awakening? As for the deck of fate and things like that, the cards, I could care less, to be quite honest. It just looks like another way to get the same rewards that we're currently getting. Obviously, any new champions they add to the game, I want to be limited. The champion pool is pretty ridiculous at this point. So maybe with the whole wish list thing, they can add that into the summoning. That would be ideal, because then I can kind of pick and choose which champions I want a little more. Even if I can't do it for, like, say, void champions, because they feel like voids are too powerful, maybe just let me do it for the other ones or something like that, so that maybe I can start plussing up champions and kind of catch up to some of these guys that might have +3, +4 empowered champions. But who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited about this update? Do you even care about it? And when do you think it's even going to come out? But that's about all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and heck, if you made it this far into the video and you don't have anything to say, just leave me a smiley face. Every little bit does help. It helps the YouTube algorithm. It lets YouTube know that you kind of like the content that I've been putting out. That way they send it out to more people. But guys, again, that's all I have for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, as always, until next time, be good.